What I'm going to do, Taryn, is we'll just walk out. We're going to make this more about you and him.
Okay.
And he's already paying attention. If you notice, he's watching us coming in. So at a point you're going to get with him is he's going to start depending on you for a little bit more and more interaction. And when he's penned up like this, when you walk out, he'll see you and he'll start talking to you. He'll start calling at you. And, you know, the whinnying. And he's like, hey, it's usually, I'm hungry. Come over here and feed me. You know, you don't need to play with me today. Just feed me. But they do start to recognize you and associate you with interaction. So I'm going to just kind of back off here. I'll stay here at this gate.
Okay.
And watch you and him catch each other.
Hey, buddy.
Look at that. See, he's already starting to walk towards the gate to you.
Hey, dude.
Now, most likely, as you approach him, now he's gonna retreat, and we'll play that game of I don't want to be caught. Could happen, but look at him. He's turned his head up over the top of the rail to look at you.
Good boy.
So he is interested.
Curious guy, huh? Hi. You're a messy eater. Look at you. You're a mess. Hi, bud.
Grab a hold of it so that you can get that rope around his neck. Very good.
Good
He's not.
boy.
Yes. He's not tried to move away from you now. See the difference in that?
Yeah.
Just slowed it down ever so much. You can hardly tell the difference, you know, to someone who isn't really looking, or for yourself. But you have to read your horse, and if your horses start to move away, he's overpressured.
Okay.
If he starts to lean away, he's overpressured.
Okay.
So really watch that body language. That tells you everything you need to know.
It, from an outside perspective, seems like such a small detail, but I wasn't petting the top of his neck.
Yes, that's
the last
correct.
Time.
You weren't yet working your way over and familiarizing so that you could reach and connect, and that's exactly right. That's why I said do just like you did yesterday, and you did it, and it calmed him and allowed him to accept that progressive movement over his neck.
Good boy.
Much better than he was yesterday.
No kidding.
Already.
It's a little warmer this morning, huh, dude?
Yes, it is a little bit warmer here. Yesterday was, I don't know what the temperature was, but we had a hard frost.
He's
and
leaning
cool.
into me.
Good. Yeah, he is leaning into you, isn't he?
Yeah.
That's a very good, because he's moving into the pressure. He's not trying to get away from you. So that's a huge, huge jump in not only your relationship, but in his confidence in you. There we go. Very
So
good.
cool.
Very good. Okay, it's been what, 12 hours or so, 15 hours? And he's remembered that lesson.
So for anyone who didn't get to see yesterday, it was our first interactions with Mystery, but one of the things that I mentioned to Brandon was when Mystery goes through a gate, when I stop here, he would stop, kind of like he just did. But by the time we were done, he would walk past me and around me to give me my space. Just through developing a bond with him and
Yes.
teaching him to respect space, not focusing on that problem at all.
That's right. Now,
But
one of the things, and you're kind of narrating your way through this about the story yesterday. One of the things that you can do to reinforce that, just as he did there, is when he comes through and he does it right, praise him for it. Really you have not asked him to do anything, but it's what is expected of him now. And when he does what you've expected, and he does it well, praise him for it. He knows what he's doing, because he's placing his feet. He knows where you are. Mentally, he is working his way through this obstacle, if you want to call it that, and it is. It's a gate, and it's something that needs to be done around and consistently. So praise him for that, and he understands that, hey, I did well again. He knows what that praise is.
Boy. He's so much more respectful of my space this morning, even though he's doing a lot of snorting.
Yep.
He's not once kick the back of my shoes.
Yeah, and I don't know if you can hear that snorting through that nasal sound. That we call it, blowing rollers. Kind of sounds like that. And that sometimes is just a high energy, sometimes fear. A lot of times fear. There you go. Praise him.
Good boy.
Yes, good.
Good boy.
And so it's still relatively unfamiliar to him here, and he's not quite settled into, oh, this is just old hat, because it's not for him yet. And as he gets better and better, he will. He's much more fluid in his movement over here. He walked yesterday really cautiously and up behind you and back, and really was kind of a hitting the gas and hitting the brakes, where this morning was just walking with you, and then when you stopped, he'd stop.
Yeah.
That's perfect. It's really good, is what he needs. Now, what we want to do here is give him a minute, but and he will, without really doing it with him, as you're facing him, and you want to stop, and you want him to stop at the gate, say whoa, and step straight back away from him.
Whoa.
Straight back, keep going back. And as if he was to keep moving, you wouldn't want to turn towards him. You want to keep your chest pointed to the point of where you wanted him to stop, because if you do that, you'll keep coming back. He will come to you and put pressure on himself, right?
Yeah.
Perfect. Because what you can do is you can start following him around. If you keep your chest pointed, your face pointed towards him, you will then start going in a circle around him, and he'll tend to keep moving because he can. He doesn't have any pressure to move into. You're releasing that pressure.
I see.
It's so easy to do that because you're focusing on him. Don't focus on him at that point. Focus on the point where you wanted him to stop. That's a huge
Good boy.
a visual cue and a cue for him to get that exactness of the movement. And so eventually when you say, whoa, you won't even have to move. He's listening to your voice because he knows the pressure will come later, even though you're not applying it.
Okay.
Or allowing him to apply it. So that's a good stop. Now, when he stops, like, there you go, as he stops here, and when it's slow like that, you may have to move out to the side because it's so slow.
Okay.
You may have to kind of cut him off at
Good
slower
boy.
speed. Now, if you were to turn him this way, what you want to do is, I always equate it to, you're standing with him, and you want to turn your body, and you were doing it, turn your back towards this wall. There you go. And then it's like you're pointing toward, yes, see how you're kind of like backing up and opening a door for him.
Okay. Oh, that's a good analogy.
Okay.
I like that.
And then, yes, and then you come in
Good
and you slide, just like
boy.
you're doing. Keep coming back. As you're doing it, keep moving. And now side step. Come with me. There you go. Now turn your body so you're facing that. There.
Good
See how
boy.
your chest moved there and towards him, and then it opened into the center?
Yeah.
And what you did, your energy is pushing in and it's kind of blocking him. And when you remove that energy, we talked about yesterday how we all have energy in our bodies that we read from each other. They read that from us. They read it from each other. When you use that energy and you're pointed the distance or the difference between right in front of him to over here, it opens that door up for him. And he moved into that open area, and it kind of creates that vacuum where your energy's not there and he can go, and he's got this whole arena to do that. So that's kind of what we want to do right now. There you go. Now, we'll practice this a couple times, and then we'll do the opposite turn, a turn for him to move away from you.
Which is the harder
It is
one for him.
It's actually harder for him to move physically, but mentally it's easier for him. Good morning, Dave.
Okay.
How are you? Good. And it's physically harder for him to turn that way, but mentally it's easier because they're moving away from you. They're getting away from you because they're turning their face away.
Okay.
So it's kind of a psychological, physical state where it's not congruent in their thought process and their body movement for the best ease. But that mental overcomes the physical.
Okay.
Now, are you a horse trainer?
Yes.
Why are you a horse trainer?
Because every moment you're with a horse, your horse doesn't know you're not a horse trainer.
That's right.
Right?
Because you're affecting their behavior one way or another. You're either
Okay.
making them better, maintaining their good behavior, or you're allowing it to
boy.
be worse. So, yeah, they don't know you're not getting millions of dollars to do this. They assume everybody is a horse trainer because they allow them to get certain
boy.
behavior either corrected or not, or they get
Okay.
away with it. So, yes. Now, what we're wanting to do this morning is just get some very good movement out of him as far as having him listen to Taryn. And so far, we really haven't asked him to do much. Just walk, and then we're working on these turns. So there you go. She asked him to move. Now, just have him stop at any point you want him to stop. But tell me where you want him to stop at.
I want him to stop by that barrel.
Okay, so you in your mind already know where you want him to stop. Did you see just about a step and a half before he started to slow down and put his head down, right?
He thought about it.
He thought about it because you thought about it. They make this mental connection. And so often when I'm working with people and they are kind of going, well, wait a minute, this energy stuff isn't working. How can that work? How can they do that? But thoughts are things. Remember we talked about that several times yesterday.
Yeah.
Thoughts are things. And when you think something, you create that movement and that you set that up in your body, and they react to that, the thought, the feeling, the whole emotional connection, and they will do what you think. And so often I've had people do just that, and the moment they thought that they were going to have that horse stop over here, but they thinking stop, and that horse will stop as they think it. I mean, the split second they think it, so you know you've made that connection, and you're already starting to make that connection with him. It is not anything that you can really predict, except that you see it when it happens, and it's like, holy mackerel. And you have to realize that you are making that connection. Don't doubt that you are. Okay. You are. So we're gonna work on some of these things this morning, and it's really our goal is to get some better turns, a little bit more speed, and work him so that he is listening even better. It may not happen. That's the whole thing about horse training. You have a plan what you want to do for that morning, or something in your mind as you're progressing in this training. It might not happen. They may regress, and then you have to start over with something else. That's the nature of it. That's the unpredictability of it. But that's also our responsibility to be able to read and understand what is happening here and why. And think about it. He may have been overpressured. He's just checked out, and he just can't handle the pressure, and he needs a rest. And we'll get to that point with him in some days. When you work him every day, maybe a couple times a day with the round corral like this, and until he gets very competent, and you've created your dominance in this herd of two that you've got going here. Until that happens, he's going to really listen, but then he's going to get to a point he'll fight you a little bit, and then he'll give up and go, okay, I accept my place. But you can overwork this horse at some point, and he has to have some time off. And I will often give them several days off. Let him go out. Let him go be a horse. Let him get the cobwebs blown out of his noggin, and because it's like you sitting in a classroom all day long for a week.
Yeah.
And you have got to have some decompression time. You've got to be able to go out and just do something different on your terms. And when you come back to that after they come in and let them decompress, oftentimes that learning curve increases, and things that they struggled with before, boom, they get it, and you're ready to go on. So you have these plateaued levels of learning and regression, and you have to read your horse. And sometimes it happens sooner with some, sometimes later. It's about reading the horse and giving them what? Not what they want.
What you want them.
What they need.
What they need.
What they need. The horse needs to do this. They don't know they need it. They need it because we are training them, because we have to have this horse do something. But they would just as soon go out and be a horse, right? We're having them do people things.
Yeah.
They don't really have any stake in having somebody on their back and go ride and go do things. What purpose is that for them to do that in nature? It's not. So we're having them do people things, but we need to have them perform or behave in a certain way. So it's what they need to do. What they want to do and what they need not always have a parallel to them. So we do that. Okay. Let's practice a couple of turns like I showed you, so that they're turning towards you. Now, many people will say, I never want my horse to turn away from me because I don't want them to present their hind end towards me, which is, remember, one of the four mechanisms for aggressive behavior, which is a kick, and the most obvious that we think of. My argument to that is, or my response to that is, I want that horse to move any direction I tell them to.
Okay. Because
there's a time when I'm in a herd of horses at the ranch, and I may have 25 or 30 horses in a group out in the middle of a pasture, and I've pulled them in with a grain bucket because I want to look them over. I want to give them just a quick treat. I'm going to see what's going on with them, and they'll start fighting for that. Well, I'm in the middle of that, I am collateral damage, because at that point I'm not controlling really any of them. I'm just there. I'm part of that herd, but I want to be able to send that horse away from me. If I get an aggressive horse, I want to send him away and have him respond unquestioned, because I'm the dominant member of that herd. So the safest thing I can do is send him away from me at times, and that's where we learn this. So any way that you turn them, anything you do with them is good discipline. So that's my argument to having them turn away from you, not just towards you. It isn't about respect. Respect is doing what you ask him to do, regardless of what direction it is. Look at, he wants to come into you so badly. This is good. It's all right. It's all right.
Should I let him?
Let him do this. This is something that's not, I don't normally do. Now back up. Let him keep coming to you. Back up. And he's going to smell your whip is laying there, that extension of your arm. There you go. Keep coming backwards. Keep coming back. Keep coming back.
So right now, this is...
There you go. Look at how much faster now. Just stop and praise him for coming up to you.
Good boy.
Oh, he presented his offside. Look at that.
And he's licking and chewing.
Yes.
So normally, with a more finished horse, that's not something you would welcome because you didn't ask him, but in his case, with him being so fresh and a little bit skittish, this is big.
I couldn't have said that better myself. Absolutely right. You get the concept that you don't normally want these horses making decisions, but when he decides to do something as a newly trained or beginning trained horse, when he decides to do something you want, go with it. Now, there's nothing I've ever put into any kind of a training syllabus that this is a part of it, that when this happens, you do it. But instinctively, you know, you want this horse to bond with you. This is a bonding moment for him. Go with it. That's what training is about. It's about being very flexible and reflective of the moment. You can't prepare for a training moment like this. Now, if you just walk away from him, he'll probably come with you. And when he does, praise him for it.
Good boy.
Now go speed up, and he'll stay with you. Now go in a big figure 8. Try to lose him. Now a quick turn to the right. Look at that. Very good.
Good
Look
boy.
at where his head is at. He's staying right with. Oh, he stops. Oh, good job. You know what? Normally, I would stop with a lesson right now.
Oh.
I would normally stop because this is a huge moment. Huge moment. But remember, I'm the king of greedy. So we're gonna see if we can't get a little bit more out of this. And this is not so much for him. He's going to benefit from it. But what we're going to try to do next is more work for you. Oh God, that's good. He likes that. Look at that. This is a bonding moment for you. This is fantastic. This is really good stuff. He's wanting. Now the difference of this is you touched him, and you're scratching him, and he's leaning into it.
Yeah.
You asked for that. That's okay. If he was to do that on his own, that's unacceptable.
Okay.
He can't tell you that you need to scratch him. He can't tell you need to rub him. He can stand there and hope like everything that it works and that you will do it for him, but he can't tell you to do it.
Okay.
You are the dominant member of the herd. If he tells you to do something, he will continue to tell you to do things like, get off my back.
I see.
We're not riding today. That's where that dominance is. He is there to make a decision. And what is the decision he's to make?
To do what we ask. That's
it. You got it. The only decision he's to make is the decision to listen and do what you tell him to do. That is a well-trained horse. Okay.
Good boy.
Now that was excellent. So let's just kind of lose him. Just quickly walk away from him, and so that he doesn't go with you. Very good. He'll probably he's still going to. Okay. That's okay. That's all right.
Hi, we're buddies now, aren't we?
Excuse me. In a moment, what we're going to do is now we're going to work on his turns. And you remember how you'd stop him, back up, and to get him to turn into you, you would open that door up, turn your body and your chest, because we tend to push our energy out the front of us. We're forward-moving animals, just as they are. If you put it in a purely biological term, we're an animal like they are. We're a human biological system. We think. We have some higher thinking abilities, except for, when I first wake up in the morning, then I'm pretty low. I'm down there around the reptilian brain function. Get a little coffee in me, and then I start to come up. By the end of the day, I'm firing on all cylinders, ready to go to sleep again. So I got this slow curve. Anyway, we have him at this point where we are going to have him turn to us and keep doing that. We'll do that a couple of times. We're not going to do a lot because we're going to work a little bit later. You can overwork this horse, and then you're going to lose it all. But we want you to back up. This forward movement that we have, get that energy out of his way, tell him what we want to do physically, and then he'll follow through just like you did before. So yeah, send him off. Good job. Excellent. Yeah, look how you really broke that connection. That's perfect. Breaking that connection is fine, because the more you break a connection, the more they want to come into you. You tell somebody they can't have something, they want it more, right?
Yeah.
Okay. It's that comfort thing, and he's learning it now. He just blew a little bit. There you go.
And he's stretching and licking and.
He is.
Yeah.
Yes, and that's what you want. Now I'm kind of backing off a little bit. If you notice, I'm getting away from you so that you two have more of an interaction.
Okay.
And I know my voice will carry because it'll carry downtown. You can hear me. All right. So whenever you want, pick a spot that you want him to turn. Okay. Turn your chest a little more. Chest, turn, turn, turn. Keep turning, keep turning, keep turning. Now back. There you go. Into the side. Keep that body turned. There you go.
Good boy.
Okay, so you have a tendency to move your body and your chest back and forth.
Yeah.
Really try to place your legs behind you when you move, so that you stay. If you turn this way, watch when I'm walking, and I put this leg in front of me. Look where my chest is at. If I do this, put my leg behind me, look where my body is. So it's about your body position, and he has to learn to read that body position. So really be aware of where your energy's at and where your chest is at, because he is.
Okay.
He's probably more aware of it than you are.
Oh.
Ooh, there you go. Okay,
Good
see how
boy.
he kind of stopped? Yeah. Okay, back up. Turn your chest. Now slip to your left. There you go.
Good boy.
Okay, now one thing you notice what you were kind of doing there is kind of moving away from him.
Yeah.
So when you stop, kind of move to the side of him, like you're moving in front of him or towards him.
Okay.
Okay, does that make sense? Okay, so we'll set it up again, and stop him whenever you want.
Oh. Oh.
There you go. Now step to your left, straight to your left.
To my left?
Okay, put your hand the other direction. Oh, I'm sorry. To your right. I am so sorry.
Oh.
I don't know why. See, I haven't had enough coffee this morning, so back it. There you go. Now, slip right to your right, and now turn your body. There you go. There. See how much faster he turned?
Yeah.
Okay, because you weren't moving away from him. You were moving perpendicular to him to kind of get him to turn. Good job. So think about your body positioning, and what you do influences him positively. And if he's not moving, not doing it, think about, what am I doing that could be better? What am I doing to impede his turn and his thought process? So it's about us not doing the right thing often. So most of the time, that's a combination of things. You know, them not understanding, us not quite doing it correctly. But always think about, if they're not doing something right, what is it that I'm not doing, right? And if you do that quick mental checklist, what am I doing? And really be critical of yourself about, am I doing this right? Am I doing it incorrectly? Excuse me. Then if you do that, and everything you're doing is right, then maybe he's just not getting it, needs some repetition, or he's resisting.
Okay.
Because they will resist. That's their nature, to try to get some dominance in the herd.
Oh.
Get back up. There you go. Good job.
Good boy.
One more time. Turn your body. Slip to the side. Turn your body. Turn your body. Turn your body to the right. Turn your body to the right. There you go.
Good boy.
You're going to have to really work on that. And it's hard. It's because it's almost like you're disengaging. And you are, because you're not pushing on him.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. So you're really going to have to, what I tell people to do is square your shoulders to the rail behind you.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay.
If you make your shoulders parallel to that rail, you're probably going to be in about the right position. Well, let's try that one more time. More. Parallel to the rail. Parallel. Keep going. There you go.
Good.
Better. Much better.
Good
Now,
boy.
as you get better at this, you're going to move less and less and less, and all you're going to do is take a pivot at some point in the middle and have him turn, and you'll pivot back.
It's interesting, there are some things that he's doing better today with. Like, yesterday it was really difficult for him to turn from this direction and turn around.
Right.
But also yesterday, in the opposite direction, I could just point, and I wouldn't have to move.
Yep.
So there's some things he's doing better, some things he's a little more rusty.
Yes. That's right. And it's about that processing. And sometimes he'll get better on the things that he was worse on yesterday and worse on the things he was okay at. And part of that is that training from one side to the other. Okay, there you go, back up. There you go. And notice there. Notice how you had to kiss, that kissing sound to get his attention. You can't do anything with a horse until you have their attention. So if you're communicating to them and they're checked off somewhere else, you're wasting your time. And you're probably going to be over communicating when they do get their communication or their attention back to you. You're going to be like, what in the world? I mean, they're very single-minded and very short-minded.
Good boy.
As far as their attention span and how long things take to occur. Okay, let's go ahead and just give him a stop.
Oh.
Okay, if he hasn't, now, there we go. If he hasn't responded to you within about a half a second, when you say whoa, and he hasn't responded in a half a second, then tell him. You quit asking him, but tell him.
Okay.
And because the same thing happens when you discipline them if they've done something wrong. If you don't do that within about a half a second, it's too late. They're off onto something else. You know, they're thinking about their Marvel comic book that they left at the back in the stall, whatever. They are very in the moment and don't carry those past sequences that just happened very far. So if you wait 3-4 seconds to correct them for something, they're wondering, what are you correcting me for? I'm not quite sure what this is out. So it has to be very quick, very sharp. And that's that Nazi absolute discipline that we talked about yesterday. Okay, now let's move this up a little bit. He's standing there, so he wants to come in. You've already had that bonding moment. Don't let him come in again.
Okay. Okay.
Treat him more like a horse because he'll get used to that with repetition, and now you're creating a problem. So that was a one-time deal.
Okay.
You're very well started on your bonding connection with him. So let's turn him away from you now. Okay. Right. So when you've stopped him, how are you going to turn away? Where are you going to put your body, your pressure? What would make sense to you?
I think I would move towards his right shoulder. Just
right towards it, absolutely, because your energy is there, and you might stand in front. Yes. Okay, stepping back in front of him. He just turned him towards you. So correct that. Turn him back. Yes. So don't let him get away with that because he's used to turning that way. There's no reason why he wouldn't go, hey, wait a minute. I just made 6 turns. There you go. Yes, now praise him for that. Praise him.
Good boy.
Even though he kind of spooked away from it, he made the right turn. He made the right thing you want to do because you pressured him. Great job. And you praised him for it. That's excellent.
Good boy.
And you see the difference about where your body was and your positioning and using the body, your energy about pushing him.
Oh.
And he responds to that.
Oh.
Okay, good job.
Rusty.
Look, what he's doing now is he's listening to you, and he knows because he paid attention when you said whoa, but he just kept walking through to see what does she want. All right. Okay, if he turns, correct that turn because you didn't ask for it. It's the right turn you were going to want, but you did not ask for it. He's just moving the way he wants to move. Okay, this now, what we're starting to see here is him trying to dominate you a little bit, and you don't recognize it necessarily. There, you stopped him. Look at that lower lip. That lower lip is moving. He's like, dang it.
Oh.
There you go. Good. Stop him. Good job.
Oh.
Okay, step there and push him. And sometimes you may have to turn him. There you go.
Good
Very
boy.
good. Very good. Good body position. Now the whole idea is eventually we're going to have you stand right there in the center and you're just going to pivot and get him to do everything you want. You'll never have to go towards him or off to the side because he's listened to the voice commands that you've built in these voice cues. Get him to listen. And then after that, when he's fully finished, you'll just stand in one spot and he'll go around you the same speed, whatever you ask him to do, and he will listen to your voice and respond to it.
Who?
Okay, good. A little bit slow on that. You saw that he wasn't going to slow down when you said whoa, so you could have moved about half the time forward and stopped him a little quicker. So don't be afraid to move a little quicker to make him do what he's supposed to do.
Okay.
Because that's that portion of the he's got a responsibility to do what you ask him, and he needs to follow through. And if he's not, he has to be accountable for that. And that's part of it.
Good boy.
Okay.
Oh.
Better. See, he took another step. What he's doing is he's pushing. That's one of the first 4 aggressive things, right?
Yeah.
You don't even recognize that as a push, but it is. He's pushing your boundary. And see if you're going to correct him.
Oh.
That's
Good
better.
boy.
Okay, now anticipate that he may do that. Remember how we talked yesterday when we were riding with Lonza about the behavior that could happen? Very good.
It was kind of
sloppy and kind of, yeah, it just kind of happened. But you know what? He doesn't know you didn't mean to that, yeah, you know? So go with it. Say, sure, I meant to do that. It's like a cat falling off of something, right? Yeah, they jump up and look around. I meant to do that for anybody that was watching. That's kind of where you're at with him.
Oh.
Okay, so you anticipate that he's not going to stop, but give him a chance. And when he doesn't stop, immediately when you say, whoa, then step in front of him and really step to the side and cut him off. Because I've been having you step back, but now he's kind of pushing through it, so you need to put a little bit of pressure on him and cut him off when he does that, when he doesn't respond. So anticipate it, say whoa, and then boom, do it right away.
Whoa.
Yeah. There you go. See, that's better.
Good boy.
And you only took, what, about a step and a half maybe?
Yeah.
But it's the timing of it. Timing is everything. Okay. All right, let's do, a couple more turns. 2 for you, away from you, whatever you want to do. And there, good.
Oh.
Oh, better. That's right. Turn him right around. Good job. You're correcting him. Now stop him.
Oh.
Okay, now there. Excellent job.
Boy.
Excellent job.
He tried before I even asked that time.
He did. He did.
Good boy.
But sometimes you may have to stop and restart on a turn like that. You may have to do that a dozen times before they figure out. As long as you're doing it correctly, you know you're right. Then he has to comply, and when he does, then that's great. And when you do that several times, and they're working very, very hard, that's hard work for them. And they go, okay, I need to really start paying attention here because you're the one who's holding them accountable for that incorrect action.
Okay. Oh. Oh.
There. Okay. Now, one of the things in your defense, it's very hard to get a horse to stop when they're moving slower.
Okay.
The faster they go, the better they move, and the better they stop. So let's give him one more turn, and let's kind of stop, and we'll go to something else here. Because you've already set up this bonding moment, and get him to just turn one more time and stop, and then go to him, and have him come back to you.
Okay.
And then we're going to do some turns. Try to do some turns with him without even being haltered up. Oh, good job.
Oh.
Look at that. Already,
he
anticipated that you didn't want that turn, so he's going to want to turn the other way. You didn't even have to ask him.
Yeah.
Which is kind of like, okay, he's making the decision for you. You might have wanted him to just stand there, right?
Yeah.
So don't let him make that decision.
Okay.
He anticipated, but he anticipated correctly.
Even though I had asked him to turn away from me first, he did it wrong. I turned him back around.
Yeah. Yep, but he needs to still watch you with that cue because you may have changed your mind now.
I see.
Right?
Yeah.
And you're a woman entitled to change your mind anytime you want. You've learned this, right?
I know that.
You know that. There you go. So so he needs to understand that we can change our mind based on the circumstances anytime we want. That's our prerogative. There you go. That's a little better. We'll have to work sharper, get sharper on these turns. Look at his eyes. What's his body telling you now?
He's kind of nervous, but he's thinking.
He's thinking.
He's processing.
Yep. Those eyes are blinking. He's pointed towards you. Look at how that body is rounded towards you a little bit. He's watching you.
Good boy.
He keeps looking for a sign. So what we've done is we've worked him quite a bit without really stopping and letting him process. So we have to keep that in mind. Let's let him process for a little bit. And we really haven't had too much because he's really gotten the lessons, right? It's kind of, he's just getting it, and it's repetition and driving that moment of you're doing it, you're getting praised for it, let's do another one, you're listening. So there's not a lot of real new learning there. So he's not processing much. He wants to come into you so bad. So go to him. There you go. Now stop. Okay, you pushed him back out on the rail. Push him back out. There you go. And now, push him back out. Make that near side leg go right there. Make him pick it up. Keep going. And, God, look at him stretch. And Oh, he's almost, a little more. Don't touch him. Don't touch him. Just push him with your body. Right there. Now stop. Whoa. Tell him whoa.
Ooh.
Now back away from him. Because what you're doing is you're teaching him to stay on the rail. Now go back. Don't let him move to you. There you go. Now what we're trying to do is make him stay without coming to you, which is opposite of what we did before. There you go. And all you're doing, do it with your body.
Good
Try not
boy.
to give him too many. Oh, that's better. Now praise
Good
him for that.
boy.
And if he comes to you, put him back in his place again. Don't let him come off of that rail.
Good
Only when you
boy.
ask him to. And we're not quite there yet. You could ask him and he'd come to you, but it's because he'd make the decision to come to you, not because you've asked him.
Because it's
You feel the difference between that?
Yeah.
Okay. And it's a very finite thing, but he still is not making the decision. When we start doing that, you're going to ask him and he's not going to come into you because you've asked him to stay on the rail. So we're going to unteach or teach him to do that, but we're teaching him with a cue at that point.
Okay.
We're going to teach him that, yes, when I pat my leg and tell you to face me, or whatever cue you want to use, Taryn, you don't have to use mine. You can use whatever you want, but when you give him that cue, now he knows, oh, that's a definite yes, I got to come into that. If she's just standing there and not asking me to come in, I need to stay here.
Okay.
Okay, so that's the difference there. And we'll get there. We'll work on that some more. All right. What I would do now is just take a step backwards and anticipate that he's going to come to you, but so you have to correct him. Let's correct him. Very good. You corrected him in the thought. He was almost ready to move that body, but you stopped short of that. Excellent job. Excellent job.
Good boy.
Okay. All right. Now, go ahead and go up to him and praise him and touch
Good
him,
boy.
which is different than what we've just done, right?
Oh,
It's okay.
too fast.
Move just a little fast, right? He reacted, so you have to
Good
slow it down.
boy.
So read your horse.
Oh, good boy.
There you go.
Sorry,
now
that was
he'll
too
relax.
fast, huh?
There you go. See what you caused? Just by moving a little bit too fast.
Yeah.
So read your horse and make sure that you can do that. It's always better to err on the side of not moving them enough
Okay.
than it is to over moving them.
Okay.
But now he just moved away, but he didn't blow away from you. He didn't try to get away, so that's good. So just slow it down ever so much. As you're reaching, just read him in real time. Is he starting to move away from me? If he is, I'm moving too fast, and just slow it down, just like you did this morning when you worked down here. It was just right.
Okay.
Yeah. So just keep that in mind. And it's so easy to get excited and think, oh man, he's really doing well. Okay. Now have him come with you again. There you go. Turn. Yes. And just come with. And if you can, just stop at the whip and give that thing a toss out here, because you're not going to need that anymore. I'll come get it. There we go. Awesome. All right. Now, yesterday you had that had the halter on him. So what we're going to do now is we're going to move him turn him on his hinds and fores without touching him if we can possibly do it.
Okay.
It's easiest to turn them on their fores and get their hind end to come around. So go up to him and then just with your body, just your body placement, there you go, and just keep moving around. Yes. Look at that. He's responding to you. Very good. He's moving that hind end around. Awesome job. Now go to the other side and have him move the other way. See how he's coming with you on that front end? He's engaging. Okay, now, don't touch him.
Don't touch him?
Don't touch him.
Okay.
But reach up and stroke him to have him come with you. There you go. Now push on that flank with your body, with your energy. Remember, this is the side he's least engaged with. He's leaning away from you. Okay, now come there. Now just keep walking through. Push, push. Be careful. That lower lip, he's quite not understanding, because that lower lip is really moving, and he's a little upset and not really realizing, okay, what does she want? There you go. Now you got him to move. He's trying to get you on his near side. There you go. Now just push towards that flank again. Ask him to come with you. This is difficult. Go ahead and stroke his neck. There you go. And walk close to his body. Have him follow that head around. There you go. Okay, see what he's done? He just put you. He just told you where to go.
Yeah.
He got you on his near side. So go ahead and get back on his off side. Pull him towards the center of the corral so that you got some room to work and not get inhibited by the rail. There you go. Now go ahead and get on the other side of him. And you can stroke him. Look at that. Look how he's staying there. Go ahead and touch him. Reestablish that contact. There you go. Good job. You just transitioned on the other side. Ask him to come to you. There you go. It's all right. Now, ask him to come to you.
Boy.
There you go. If you got 1 step, 2 steps, that's a win right there. You've already accomplished what you want to do. Now, go ahead and take a step over there again. Have him come with you and push. There. You're engaging with that front end. You're having him come around his body to begin that turn. But then you're pushing on that hind end. And now keep walking. Keep going. Keep going. Keep going. There you go. There's 2 steps. Very good. Very good. Okay. And then 1 step. Have him come with you. And this is where you can start teaching that cue to come to you with that front end. Because as you engage his front end, there he's going to disengage his hinds. Okay. And this is a very tough thing to teach right off. And it's good. You're doing well. He's doing well. Staying nice and calm. This horse needs to stay calm. There you go. Now push your body, turn your body 90. There you go. There.
Good.
There. Did you see the difference right there where he was engaging on the front end, and then as you turned your body, you pushed his hip and he disengaged his hind end?
Yeah.
That's what you're looking for. Now you're looking for that continued disengagement. You got 1 step. Now we're looking for 2.
That
you're doing
time
that
I
without touching him, really.
asked him to stop first, because the time before he stopped on his own.
Okay.
So I don't know if that's teaching him to stop after 1 step or not, but
it is.
Okay.
It is. You're kind of doing that. So try to transition from engaging on the front end. There, he's trying to set you up. There you go. He's trying to get you on his near side. There you go. You're engaging the front end, and now you're pushing. Now engage the front end again. Just ask him. Okay. Very subtly, you can just reach up and ask him. Now ask him to come to. There we go. Look at see now. He stepped in front of you to get you on his near side. Okay, go ahead and stop him.
yeah, he keeps stepping in front of me.
Yes. So he's uncomfortable, right? He's uncomfortable with you on his offside because he keeps trying to put you where he's comfortable. Knowing that is a training advantage for you, because when when they're uncomfortable, that's when they're starting to learn, and you're pushing those boundaries. So that's a welcome thing, really. So go ahead. There you go. Now transition to the other side. There you go.
Boy.
Now ask him to come and engage that front end with you with your cue, and as you do that, turn your body towards his hip. See how he's engaged and he disengaged from the front end?
Yeah.
But he didn't move. He just left you mentally. So have him come with you. There you go. Turn your body towards his hip. Turn your chest towards his hip. You got 2 steps there.
Kind of.
Yeah, kind of. Now do it again. Now as he turns, move in, and be careful. You want to watch because he's uncomfortable. This is a time when it's a vulnerability for him. He could say, "Ooh, I need to defend myself," and he could cow kick you. So you got to be careful. You got to be aware of that. Okay.
All right.
So this is where training is dangerous. It's risky work, and you have to be able to read what could happen.
Good
but
boy.
Don't think about what will happen. Think about what could happen, and then what you need to do to prevent it. Okay. There. Do it again now. Not quite so much to the left, but kind of a 45-degree angle. There you go. There you go. Keep coming. Ask him to come to you. Ask him to come, and pat your leg a little bit if you need to, because you're going to start building that cue. So ask him to come, and then as soon as he turns, okay, we might have gone a little bit too far. We'll have to see. Okay, so yeah, he's trying to put you on his near side. So what we need to do, we're at the end of this training session, but what we need to do is get him to do one thing correctly, and if we can, it's the thing we're working on. So if we get 1 step out of him, we're done.
Okay.
Because otherwise, we're going to start getting him to get more sulky and ball up, and when you do that, then he resists, and the resistance wins. There you go. Get in front of him. Get in front of him. Keep moving. Keep moving. Keep moving. Get in front of him. On this side, you've got to try to beat him around. Yeah. See how he's okay. We're getting worse and worse. That's okay. Stop right there. Don't turn him the other way if you can help it.
He's
Stop him
crafty.
and then get under it. Because you're trying to fool him.
Boy.
Well, let's just get him to stop. There you go. Now.
Boy.
Now come over. Have him engage. Now push towards that hip. See how he steps in front of you?
Yeah.
Okay. What you're doing. If you look at me, your horse is here, you got here, right, and he's facing you,
Yeah.
and you're coming over and you're getting too far away from him,
Okay.
so that he can cut you off. There you go, there.
Boy.
Get between his neck and his shoulder, so that he can't get that head between you and him.
So then once I'm here, and I ask for that turn, I lose him. He disengages.
Yep, but so what you need to do is not quite step so far out away from him. Just take a 45 degree to the side. There you go. Have him come with you. Ask him.
See, now he's disengaged.
He's got his attention on you. There you go. Now you got his attention. Now bring him around. And he's getting sticky. You feel that? How he just doesn't want to work?
Yeah.
That's why we're at the end of this training session at this moment. We can get him to turn.
He's totally sticky.
And don't be afraid to cheat. Okay, he's on me now. He's checking out anywhere he can go. So go ahead and stroke him again. And as soon as he starts to turn his head towards you and try to engage his head and disengage that hind end by pushing your body towards, there you go. Now. See him change? See him relax a little?
Yeah.
Ask him to, yep, and it's going to be a little bit difficult. If you need to, reach up underneath his neck and pull his head around.
Okay.
That's what I mean by cheating.
Okay.
Let's get him to turn his body a little bit. Now just reach under his neck, pull that head around, and have him pull that head with you. There you go. Now walk towards his hip as you're pulling his head around. There you go. And that's okay. You started to get him to move. Look how he's disengaging even more. It's all right. So what we need to do, now he's trying to leave you. So we have to just kind of work this. Look at him chew. There we go. All right. Push that energy out of your chest. There you go. That's okay.
So
all right.
He's still got in front of me.
He's still got in front of you. So when he does that and there's no way you're going to hold him, stop.
Okay.
Let him get away so it isn't like you're chasing him now, because you don't want that to happen.
Yeah.
So when you see it start to go bad, just stop, and he'll stop. And look what he's doing now. He's going to come back toward you.
He's grinding his teeth.
Yeah. I think what we've got here, and I noticed this when he picked him up at the ranch and looked at him. He's a 4-year-old. He's kind of a petite guy, but he's a little thinner than I like. He's not quite as fleshy as he should be, and I have to wonder if we don't have some dental issues going on. He may have retained the caps on his teeth, those baby teeth. They lose caps. He may have retained one, and so I've got to call into an equine dentist to see if we can't have him looked at. And it's good, even if it's not there, it eliminates any issue there. He may have hooks on his teeth from the growth. He may be a horse that does that extra tooth growth or faster tooth growth, and that creates hooks which can sore the inside of their mouth when they chew. We noticed yesterday he didn't try to take the grain, which is a good sign that this is not comfortable when I eat, so I'm just not going to. Okay. So I think it's an issue we need to address, and we started doing that, and we'll see what happens. And if I can get somebody to look at him, a guy that I really know and trust, used him for years, and a very good dentist. And if he's not available, we have a very good veterinarian here at Missoula that can also come and look at him and is very good that way as well. So,
but it's not extreme stress, right?
No, it's not pain. It's not necessarily a painful thing, but it's kind of a chronic. If you had like a tooth or how we've bit the inside of our mouth before, and you bite down and you're like, that hurts. And it's kind of like that. You can still do it, but it's uncomfortable. And
but as far as what we're doing with him right now, resisting, it's not really.
That's right.
Stressful. That's not why he's grinding his teeth.
No, no, that might be just a response to part of that chewing mechanism of a release. So, okay, there you go.
Good boy.
Excellent. Now, if you could get that much on the other side, then we'd quit. Okay, so let's try it. So he's still wanting you to stay there. He's trying to keep you on that near side because that's where he's most comfortable. He likes that. So let's do that. There you go.
Good boy.
And take your time and just stroke him. And when he brings that head over, there you go.
Good boy.
There you go. Now, if worse comes to worse, what we can do is we can put him in the halter again.
Okay.
And we can get him to move that way. And that's okay. That's kind of cheating too, but really what we've done is we've eliminated the halter and the in hands where you can really control him. And we want him to come with you because he's starting to bond with you more and trust you as a herd leader. So that's where we're after, and we just might have pushed a little bit too soon here.
Good
there you
boy.
Go. He's kind of watching the activity to the left or to the right of you. There you go. He kind of moved into you. Or you relaxed a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah. So just take about a third of a step away from him. There you go. Now more towards his. There. Look how he's dropped his head a little bit.
Yeah.
He's relaxing even more.
Good
So
boy.
take a step at a 45-degree angle towards his hip. There, like that. Yes. Now keep stroking him. Okay. We may not get there, and we'll try this one time, and if we don't, then we're going to put him in the halter, and we'll work on some turns like that, exactly like we want in hand, where you can control him more.
And can you explain why at this point you wouldn't physically touch him and then go back to trying to use your energy?
Yes, because I think if you physically touch him on the flank right now, what you're going to do is you're just going to push him away from you, and you're going to cause a bigger problem. It may work, but I'm not willing to take that risk yet to cause a problem to there you go. Now move, there you go. Look how he's moving towards you. Okay, you're almost ready to make this work. Look how he's chewing. He's really contemplating and processing what's going on. He's relaxed even more. Now if you can get him to come to you a little bit with that head and push that hind end around, if you can get it one step out of him, we're done. Without having to go back to that halter. And this happens, okay?
Good boy.
There you go, there you go, there you go. Oh, you're so close, Taryn. You are so close. Keep going. Keep walking away from him. There you go. Have him bring that head with you. He is set up with that hind end, that offside or the near side hind. See how it's in front?
Yeah.
That really needs to be behind him because he's kind of set up more to move towards you instead of away from you. He's kind of bracing himself. So pay attention to where his feet are at and how that's going to affect his movement and his body. So he's kind of set up more to move towards your side instead of away from you like we want.
Good
but
boy.
he can swap that. Let's see. Let's see. Oh, keep coming, keep coming, keep coming. Keep coming like you're going to walk away. Like yes, keep coming, keep coming, keep coming. It broke, right? You're getting so close. Do you feel?
I didn't want him to get in front of me, so I came closer.
That's okay.
Okay.
That's right. You don't want to undo and get him to repetitively teach you that you need to be on that side, right?
Yeah.
And that's what he's kind of working at. So you're kind of at a struggle here with him. And now you notice he's disengaged to something else. He's looking over here. He's like, and that's part of that processing of, okay, I'm just going to check out. Okay. And really all you're going to try to do now is get him to follow you like we did before, but now push his hind end. Now go towards his hind end. Step in, step in. Yes. Oh, you're so close. Can you feel how close you are?
Yeah.
But he locks up on that hind end because look where his leg is at. Right? He's bracing himself in front. Okay? He's not quite engaged with you. So stroke his head. There you go. Yes, now walk towards his hip. The minute he starts to move, okay, look how he braced and moved his hip towards you.
Yeah.
So he's pushing into that pressure.
Okay.
And that brings us to a very good point. Are horses a into pressure animal or away from pressure animal?
They're into pressure animals.
Yes, and they're
But
also
they learn
away from pressure.
the
Kind of a trick
release.
question. It all depends on the context, right?
Okay.
Okay, if I hold a grain bucket up and I shake it and they like grain, they're going to come into that pressure. If I hold up a halter and they don't want to be ridden, they're away from pressure. So yes, they are both. It depends on the context. Sometimes when you're pushing them physically like that, they'll push into you almost exclusively, and we have to teach them to move away from the pressure. God, he is pretty.
Yeah, you are, buddy.
There we go.
Handsome boy.
Let's try one more time to get him to come with you and move that hip. And if he doesn't do it, let's go to the halter. Because you got to know when to. There you go. Keep coming. You're doing it.
Buddy. Come here.
See him move that head towards you, then that's the time to move. Yes. Okay. Let's stop. Because he's just going to blow out of there. You can see in his body movement, he went back straight. There you go. So let's just leave him and come back to the halter. And if he comes with you, that's fine. Look how, as you moved away, he moved away from you and come in. He's really pushing you on that side right now. So grab the halter. And this is good. He's coming with you. This is excellent. So we'll just halter him up, and we'll give him a couple of turns to show him what we're really looking for. And all you're going to do is have him in hand. You're not going to use the lead too much until you pull his head around. Because you're going to pull him and then push that hind end around, hopefully without touching him, but at the same time getting him to move off. And if you have to touch him, you have to.
Okay.
Well, you just keep breaking these movements down. If something doesn't work, then think, okay, how can I break this down a little bit more to get a small movement out of him? And we've worked with him quite a bit here, and then we'll get a little bit better when we do some more things with him. But there you go, take you in the middle. Good, very good. You just disengage him from where he's at. take him more into the middle. And as you do that, get on the other side of him. There you go. Good. Very good. Now, stroke him. Yes, exactly like you were before. And this time, as you move, there. Now push in his hip. Turn your body towards him. Turn your chest towards his hip. Chest towards his hip more. And try not to use his head too much, but a little bit. Now get a little bit closer in because he's going to try to cut you off. Good job. Keep pushing. Let's go around a couple more times. See how he's disengaging that hind bed?
Yeah.
There, he disengaged, and he kept his feet straight.
I'm
He was more
having to
engaging at the same time and just kind of turning in a circle. So we want him to hold his feet steady in one spot. And now you're kind of behind, so you need to get closer to his hip, get behind his shoulder, and turn your body towards his flank. Like there. Now walk into him. Walk into him. Walk into him. There you go. He disengaged. Do it again. He disengaged.
Boy.
Good. One more.
Really having to
yes.
touch his head a lot.
Yeah, it's okay. It's okay. You're just kind of folding him over. One of the things I notice he's doing is he's very left-handed. He is not moving his body. His body is stiffer. On that back is stiffer on a turn to the right. See how his back is kind of straight? So we need to work on that. There you go. That's better. That's
Good
better.
Boy.
All right. Now let's bring him to the center. So we've kind of disengaged what we're doing here. We're kind of stopped. Now you're going to do it again and just take one good circle around, trying to keep him from moving his front end so much. So he's just turning on the fours. Push. There you go. Now keep pushing. Keep pushing. Turn your body towards him a little more. Square your shoulders to his. There you go. Now just a touch of the head. There. Keep walking. Now walk into him. Walk into him. There you go. Excellent. You're moving his hind end. Front end is staying basically engaged. And one more step. Just let's get greedy. Right there it is. Stop. Now, if you had seen this offside front foot, look what it's done in the gravel. It's pivoted, right?
Yeah.
The one that he stepped out of, he started to pivot here. He pivoted almost 360 degrees. It was about a 270-degree pivot on that front foot. Even though the other one was moving, he was stationary there, but he was moving the hind end around. That's it. Good. And look, he has to kind of learn this. So if you get stuck, all we've done is we've taken this a little bit more advanced move, and we've broken it down. And we've made it so, okay, I think I get it now. And that's what you're done. And we'll have to probably come back to this with the halter. But let's give him a chance to do it, without using the halter.
Right now?
No.
Okay.
Later, on the next lesson.
Okay.
Which we're going to give him a few minutes off, and then we're going to come back. And I'm going to kind of coach you over our system and prove it so we're working well and with a delay and all of that stuff, which complicates what we're doing too. So you're going to get to a point, he's kind of sticky right now. He needs a minute or two off.
All right.
So let's do this. Let's give him enough time. Let's take him back to his pen and just leave the halter on, and just so he gets out of here and kind of gets to decompress a little bit. So we're taking him out of his work cubicle and we're giving him a coffee break.
Okay.
A very good job this morning. There you go. Good. Good. And we'll take him down there for a few minutes, and we'll kind of get together and give you a little bit of a chance to have a little something to drink, and then we'll start in again.
All right. So when I'm leading him, I'd like to lead him on his offside. He really doesn't want to let me.
That's right. He's more comfortable with you on his near side, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah. So what you're doing here, leading him with you on his offside, is exactly what he
needs.
He needs that. Yes, he needs that.
Oh, boy.
And now he's getting more comfortable. Very good. Keep going. You're doing exactly what you should do. Now he's more squared behind you. So if he was to spook, he could have the chance of hitting you and running into you. They try not to, but it could happen. So always know that. There you go. Good job. You stop, he stops and stays away from you. That's perfect. Okay? So yeah, you need to teach him that he's got to be comfortable with you on either side. That's what he needs. Very good. Yeah, we'll give him just a little bit of a break for this next session. Is going to be a little bit shorter because it really is a continuation of what we're doing. And he's already sticky, so we won't work all that long, but it'll be long enough to give him another good lesson.
Okay.
and we'll move beyond what we're doing. We'll just do more of it, maybe at a higher speed, better stops, more fluid turns. Some of those things we're going to try to work on.
Sorry, buddy.
There we go. Good. See how pushing your energy into his side, where that comes in handy right here, because you can engage his front end, but disengage that hind end and move around that gate, just like you did yesterday. Very good. There you go.
Good boy.
Very good. Everything you do with them all the time is a training session, whether you're just leading them, just like you're doing, or anything you're doing, just standing still is a training session. Very good. You know, and you can just throw that rope over his, just throw the lead rope up over his back and just let him stand like that.
Oh, you're fine. You're fine. Good boy.
There you go. Doesn't hurt him a bit. He's going to kind of train himself now that rope is okay. So just come out of the corral and leave him alone and let him look it over, let him feel it. It's good. Look at him. He's wanting to come with you some more. That's a good thing.
Bye.
Look at him look that rope over. Yeah, look at that. Now, anytime when you do this, what is he doing? Is he training himself, or are you training him?
He's training himself.
He's training himself, absolutely. And when somebody learns something on their own, that lesson is better. So let's just go in and give him a couple of minutes, and we'll watch him on the camera. There, he's going to start eating a little bit. He's going to realize that he's not going to starve.
I wish I had put it on the other side of him.
That's okay. You're going to do both sides anyway. We got time. You don't have to do everything today, right?
Yeah, that's true.
Okay.
Now I'm Queen of Greedy.
Queen of Greedy. All right. I got a crowned partner now, right? All right. Yeah, let's get something in you that's warm. It's kind of cool this morning.
Yeah.
Give him a couple minutes to decompress, and then we'll start again.